This is gonna be just a quick video on how to use this quilling tool. So this is a tool used for paper quilling. It's used for like rolling up the paper. You can make a tight roll like this or a loose roll like this, okay? So let's talk about how we do that. First of all, this is just a small amount of metal here. You can bend it. Don't do that. So be real careful with this, and don't ever pull your paper really tight. You may not understand what I mean just looking at this, but once you start doing this, you're going to be rolling paper into kind of a coil, and you don't want to have that paper rolled or pulled too tight, because what'll happen is these will bend, they'll get close together, and the thing will not work anymore. So you can see there's a little like a groove in here. There's a space where you can put the paper in. See? So what you're going to do is put that paper in that little space, and you don't want to have too much hanging off the end. When you turn it, it will fold if you do that, and it's going to kind of mess up your shape. So what you want to do is put it in here and then pull until, just gently until you don't see anything hanging out the other side. Then you're going to start twisting. For me, it's easier to twist away. Now I'm holding my paper loosely in between my middle finger and my thumb. And I'm going to use my index finger to kind of steady it. What can happen as you're turning this is that, see what's happening? It's moving along there. We don't want that to happen. That's going to create problems with our shapes. So we want to try to keep it as much as even as we can, or in other words, like on that roll and not kind of going off to the side. Again, I'm not pulling tight. I'm not hanging on to this tightly. It's just I'm just kind of stabilizing it so that it will stay in place. Again, you can use your fingers to tap it into place to make sure it doesn't roll off of your little, what kind of this disc that you're creating. I'm not jamming it into my finger. It's just kind of gently resting there. And again, that's just to help me keep it steady. You don't have a tight grip on anything here. And you're keeping an eye on it to make sure it's even on there. When you're finished, it'll look like this. You're going to hold on to it so that the end doesn't fly off, and you just real gently pull this out. Now you've got this disc. This is a tight one. If you wanted to leave it tight like this, then what you would do would be to lift that flap, put a tiny bit of glue there, and then hold it in place for just a few seconds. Since it's such a small amount of glue, it shouldn't take too long. Now, when I'm doing this, I like to kind of scratch it a little bit or push it into place gently so that it stays there. Now, that's a tight circle. If we want this loose circle, which is really way more useful and something we'll use a lot more, then we just put it down. There are tools that you can use to get it to a certain size that you'll want, but if you don't have that or you don't need it, then you just kind of like tap it until you get it to where you want it. If you need to, you can kind of, play with it to loosen it up to the size that you want it to be. And in the end, what you'll do is, again, lift up the flap, put just a tiny bit of glue there, Make sure you've got it on the end so it doesn't fly up. And hold it in place just for a few seconds. And then you should be set. If you find that it's like detaching from itself, then just add some more glue and put it where you need it. Okay, that's it.